How's it going, everyone? Welcome to yet another episode of Unfiltered Immigration. And now we are really going unfiltered. Disclaimer about today's episode that this is PG-13 episode. So today's topic, it's kind of like skilled immigration versus unskilled immigration, not skilled immigration versus illegal immigration. And I'm giving a title that heart, mind, heart, and balls, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit. But about today's episode, it's that if you don't know me, my name is Anuj, and I'm the recently I have traveled to all the 50 states of United States to promote the fairness for high skill immigrants, right? And I have met people in all these 50 states. Recently talked to a lot of people who are skilled immigrants, but a lot of people who are Americans as well. And right now, if you know that election is coming in the United States in November, and they say that the immigration is number one topic for this year's election. And when they say that the number one topic, what they mean is that this illegal immigration or whatever is happening at the southern border, that's very hot right now. So whenever I was like having this topic or discussion when I was traveling, people were always had concern with that. So gonna talk about what that is, but also like there are people who are skilled immigrants in the United States. They are not getting the attention they deserve. So there is a lot of frustration because they are not getting the same amount of rights as a lot of the people who enter illegally gets, right? So while I'm doing this advocacy, I see that a lot of frustration among skilled immigrants as well. So wanted to address this, that what it is like. So in today's episode, what I'm gonna cover is that what is illegal immigration, what is skilled immigration, wheel of life, what is mind, heart, and balls, who is responsible for illegal immigration, right? Is it Democrats, is it Republican, is it both? Who is responsible for bad skilled immigration, and what we can take away from this, right? That's very important, especially if you are skilled immigrants, or especially for anyone, that this would be very important, that even if we don't solve the green card backlog, if you want to maintain your freedom, uh, this might be helpful. So before we begin, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, so that helps to reach this video to more people. If you don't mind, and if you haven't, like, please subscribe. Let's watch something funny just to get started with. It's serious, but it's funny and it's relevant to what we're gonna talk about in this video later. So
feels like a fair swap you got there. See, immigrants are good. You want to have them, man. You want to have them. Unless they're fucking Mexicans. Oh! I live in LA. You wouldn't believe the problems we have with Mexicans. Fucking dirty Mexicans. They come over the border and they're taking all the good jobs. They can't even speak English. They're taking all the good jobs. I don't know how they do it, but they do. You know, sometimes I look at my son and I think, if only he could pick fruit someday. You wouldn't believe the amount of white people who applied for that job. Oh, they were queued around the fucking block, and I was like, get the fuck away from my house. I like explaining everything twice. Hey!
all right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about how that relates later, but let's just begin. So what is illegal immigration, right? I'm not sure if you saw recently the State of the Union address from the president, and he used one word which started a lot of debates, and a lot of Democrats were mad about him using that word. Is the word was the illegal immigrant, and they were like, a lot of people were saying that no human being is illegal, right? So then what is the illegal immigration? And as far as I know, illegal immigration, it's like entering the country illegally. So if you most of the people around the world knows this, but right now the southern border between like Mexico and United States, at southern border, a lot of people are entering through this, like wherever there is a gap or less security, people are entering through those that southern border, and that is illegal immigration, right? But now then once they are in the United States has a law, as far as I know, is that if anyone is on the US soil, they can seek asylum. So what is happening is that a lot of people are entering illegally, and then they are like surrendering themselves, and they are seeking asylum. So once they are like apply for the asylum, then they are released, and once they are released, the asylum processing is like so backlog right now. It's, people say that it's 5 to 10 years, right? So they haven't been granted asylum, but they are in the queue that they will be like processed someday after 5 years, 10 years, but then they become like at least legal, right? So maybe I agree with that, that probably no human beings are illegal, but the immigration is happening when you enter the country not through the port of authority or like legally, then it's illegal immigration, right? And then when the people are here, they are like once they apply for the asylum, they get eligible to receive EAD, their work permit. They can start working for anyone once, I guess it's 6 months time period, right? So that's what illegal immigration is. Now another our topic is that skilled immigration, right? And the skilled immigration, there are like a lot of pathways, but with the main issue right now, why that is that immigration has not been updated for a long time in the United States. And right now there are like legal immigrants like me who came here legally. I came here on student visa. A lot of people who are in this kind of like green card backlog, they came either on student visa, they came here on work visa, but now they are in never ending green card backlog. And many of them are in this backlog because of their country of birth, right? So there are skilled immigrants like doctors and engineers. They are in the never-ending backlog. The backlog is like 100 years that they will receive the green card. It's like 100 years, even though they are contributing so much to the America, right? That they are saving lives, they are doing like very demanding jobs. But what is happening is that they are always tied to their employer. They cannot start working for anyone, and so they are like, they don't qualify for a lot of the jobs because the employer has to sponsor their H1B, right? So they don't qualify for the most of the government jobs, and a lot of the jobs they don't even qualify, and they don't have the sight in mind that when that's gonna end, because United States, even skill-based immigration, they prioritize based on the country of birth. So there is country cap, but in this kind of asylum, there is no quota, or there is no country cap. Because there is no quota, there is no country cap, right? So people say that this illegal immigration, just illegal immigration, in the past 3 years, the close number is more than 10 million people entered illegally, right? People has different numbers, but they say that more than 10 million people has entered United States illegally. Meanwhile, the green card backlog is close to 1 million people who are waiting for this green card. So they don't have the same amount of freedom, even though they did everything right. Like kind of me, I have been here for 15 years following all the laws, doing everything right. But I have to stay attached to my employer, right? And now because of the new law, whenever my employer files for my H-1B, they have to pay the asylum processing fee. So they have to pay this fee to process the asylum, because people who are coming illegally and seeking asylum, they don't even have the money to pay for the asylum, right? So they are like, where to get that money for USCIS to process those applications? So they are charging the H-1B renewal, or like whenever employer files I-140, they have to pay these fees for the privileges we don't even have. So we don't have this freedom, the same amount of freedom these people who are entering illegally they do, right? So now in this illegal immigration, there are like a lot of people who are genuinely coming because they have a threat to their life in their home country, and they are fleeing, right? But then they are like, a lot of them are coming for economical advantage as well, right? So they haven't been granted the asylum yet. But meanwhile, while they wait, they have the freedom to work for anyone, which we don't. So now a lot of the high skill immigration, you see that they are like frustrated that why that is happening. Moving on, I wanted to share something which is called Wheel of Life before we come to mind, heart, and balls. So what is the Wheel of Life? The Wheel of Life, if you don't know, a lot of the life coaches use this. They say that if your life is not well rounded, then you will have your life wouldn't be smooth. Just like they take the analogy of the car wheels, that they need to be round. Otherwise, if it is like not completely round, then you will have very bumpy rides. And the Wheel of Life, people put different things, but the main thing usually they put it there is that your career, social life, finances, relationship, and physical health, right? So what they say that, like, let's say that your finances are great, but then your physical health is not good, then you will have the bumpy ride, right? That to maintain the smoother ride in your life, you have to balance all these things equally. And if you don't balance, then you're gonna have the bumpy ride. So then recently I was watching the Tucker Carlson and Andrew Cuomo, I forgot his name, Cuomo, but they were having a conversation, and I picked up one thing from that conversation, that they were talking about mind, heart, and balls in a different context. But the thought came to my mind is this, that your mind equals skills, let's say, your heart equals sympathy, and balls equals to courage, right? So, but like I use that complete analogy because the mind, heart, and balls is like very easy to remember, that stucks with you. But it's about skills, courage, and sympathy, right? So what I wanted to talk about is that why it's like this, that why the lot of people, high skill immigrants, they are not getting the attention they deserve. Because right now, if you see that in the United States, the immigration as comes to the election is the number one issue, but they are not talking about the high skill immigration, even though it's equally important, right? That there is like a huge shortage in the United States for healthcare workers. There is huge shortage for tech workers as well. That if you know that the Biden wanted to bring the chip manufacturing to the United States, but it's like it's very challenging right now because there is not skilled immigrants in the United States who are trained on those technologies, right? So, but and when you do the skill immigration based on the country of birth, you are putting the country's security at risk. You are like, whenever you are like hiring a doctor based on their country of birth, then you are risking lives, right? But still, that issue is not getting any attention. So that skill, but then it's like another is courage. So I was like, why this illegal immigration is getting all the attention, right? And let's watch one more video. Where is it? Okay. All right, so you saw that courage, their courage level, that they were at the gunpoint, but still they are not backing down, right? So before we talk about that, before we get into the little bit more detail, think about your five senses, right? That we have like five senses, and when you lose one sense, then some other or all four becomes much more stronger, right? So to give you an example, let's say that I'm not sure you met any blind person, but if you have met, you see that their hearing sense is so strong that if you meet them, if they hear your voice, they will remember that voice, and if they hear that voice again, they will immediately know that this is this person, this is Anuj, even though they have never seen you, right? So sometimes this kind of things happen naturally, that when you don't have something, then the other things become stronger, right? So I think that the courage, they have a lot of courage, but sometimes it comes from also like forced courage, that they didn't had any option when they were like living in their home country. They were like already at the risk of their life, right? So they have traveled to this southern border, which is not secure, even if you're not sure if you've seen the Donkey movie, but the path they travel, there are like a lot of hurdles in that. And sometimes the courage comes from stupidity as well, that whenever you are like not very rational, then that courage comes naturally as well, right? So like now they have like a lot of courage, either forced or either for whatever reason, right? So like now you see that they have already risked so much in their journey. Now they are already at the last path, and now you know that they want to enter at the gunpoint, right? And that courage is, let's say that if they are in the United States, then if they are not granted EAD, they don't have a job. So there are like 10 millions of them entered through the country. They will all go and sit down right outside the state capitol. Not state capitol, the United States Capitol, or outside the White House, right? Because they have courage, they don't have anything to do, so they will camp out, and the government doesn't want that, right? So it's like for them, they have to listen to them. They don't have any other option, I guess. So they have a lot of courage. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not asking anyone to break the laws. whatever we need to do as a skilled immigrants, or even like for anyone, we need to do within the law, right? But sometimes even we are like more fearful, uh, even doing anything within the law, right? That lot of the I see that there is a lot of fear that people are afraid even to post with the real names on Twitter, that oh, USCIS might be tracking us, and I understand where that fear comes from. But so we kind of have skills, but we don't have a lot of courage. And to have the balanced wheel of life, it's important to have skills. But if we only have skills and no courage, then we will be exploited, right? That we won't get what we deserve. And it's not just about like immigration, is that let's say if you have a lot of skills, but if you don't have courage, then you will be like always afraid to take on new responsibility, or like if you will be afraid to apply for the new job, even if you get the green card, you will be like afraid to start a business if you wanted to, that what's gonna happen, right? So if you only have skills and no courage, then the balance, it's there is no balance, and you will always have bumpy rides, right? So 1 second, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about, right? So here is like, let's go back, and here is kind of the main thing I wanted to talk about, is that there needs to be balance of skills, courage, and sympathy. If you only have skills but no courage, then you will be exploited, right? Because there are a lot of people out there, they don't have sympathy, they don't have the heart. So then you will be exploited. If you only have courage and probably skills but no heart, then you will be the one who exploit people, right? Once you get the green card, then you will be the one who will like stop immigration, or like a lot of the people who are coming, they have their life is at risk, and even that people are seeking asylum, but then you would be like someone who want to stop the asylum, right? And if you have sympathy but no skills and courage, then you will be very sad, because you have this emotion, you have the heart, but you don't know where to apply or what to do, right? With that you don't have the courage, you don't have the skills, so you will be sad. So it's important to have the balance of all three to have the smoother ride, right? And sometimes, as I said, that sometimes it's forced courage, but sometimes, as I was talking about in the sense system, right, that even though you all have five senses, you can still work on developing the senses better, right? That a lot of people do like speed reading courses, right? So making your senses better. Or sometimes we develop the taste, right? A lot of the things we eat, it's like develop taste, right? So there is a way that to have something naturally, but also we need to work towards that. So the skills, it's great that we are high skilled, but now we need to be bold, and within the law, right? That within the law is very important, but we have to say that if something is wrong, and I think that the country of birth is not a skill, and to restrict someone's growth based on their country of birth is wrong, and that's something we shouldn't be afraid of saying or talking to anyone. And that might involve some risk. The risk is very limited, but still we should be willing to take that risk, right? And that's what I'm doing, right? I'm doing that this live stream, saying this openly, that this is wrong, and if that involves some kind of risk, I'm willing to take that risk, right? That because if we don't take that risk, we will be exploited, right? So let's talk about now this, who is responsible for illegal immigration. And there are like a lot of thoughts around this, lot of theories around who is responsible for illegal immigration. before we come to that, if you know that the general tendency for Democrats is that they are more sympathetic towards asylum seekers, right? So, like, there are some people think that okay, if the Republican comes to the power, then this will be fixed, right? But as you seen that the clip we first saw of Jim Jeffries in the that because the Congress hasn't fixed skill immigration, which means that high skill immigration as well, but the skill immigration, not unskilled immigration as well, not just skilled immigration. So there is a huge shortage of unskilled labor in the United States as well, right? That if you don't know, but like go to any restaurant where they cannot hire illegal, right? That like McDonald's or like go to the Sam's Club. Everywhere you go, there will be sign that we are hiring, and there is a huge shortage of unskilled labor as well in the United States. And then the immigration Congress is not able to act on the immigration, that how we can solve this issue, right? But this is one happening, and this is just my understanding, is that a lot of the people are coming through the southern border which gonna do those jobs, right? So this is the one way of getting that labor, and this is not in favor of or against that, right? But this is just my understanding. So it's not that one party is responsible or another party. They both need to act, but what is happening is that they both are playing politics, I guess, right? That let's say there was a border security bill there, and the bill wasn't perfect, but if that bill was signed, then that would have improved the security significantly. And that would have increased the skill immigration a little bit as well. There were like some clauses, right? But that didn't go through the Congress. So it's not like both party needs to act, but what is happening is that they both want to use that issue for election and that kind of things. So as I was talking about, right, that the lack of sympathy towards one group of people, but not the other group of people, right? And then you can say that the one party is leaning towards one thing, one party is leaning towards another thing. But what is happening is that the kind of labor they want, the cleaning that Jim Jeffrey was talking, that I had a requirement for someone to clean their house, but no Americans line up for that job, right? So it's not like only Republicans require this kind of labor, or this unskilled labor, or only Democrats, right? That a lot of the Republicans has this businesses. As I was talking to these people in all the 50 states, that's what they came to. A lot of people talk to me is that they have a lot of businesses like farms or like construction businesses, right? That both the party owns that, and both party relies heavily on this kind of labor, right? So it's needed kind of, but I hope that it's done right. So I am in favor of like securing the border and increasing the unskilled immigration as well. I hope they do it the right way. I am like also wanted to say that I'm a firm believer in what Benjamin Franklin said, right? That it is better 100 guilty persons should escape than one innocent person should suffer, right? So that's like whenever I see high skill immigration frustrated with the this whatever is happening at the southern border or illegal immigration, it's that important that I know that our issue is not getting the attention we deserve, but we should have that more of a heart towards those people, that some of them are coming from very unfortunate circumstances. So we need to be sympathetic towards them as well, that a lot of the people's lives at risk. So personally, I don't want to oppose that. I don't want to say a lot on the southern border as well, as I have very little understanding of that. but what I have understanding of the skill immigration, right, that high skill immigration, because I have been advocating for that as well, that needs to be done properly right now. The way it is happening right now is that the student visa doesn't have country cap. The H1B, the high skill visa doesn't have country cap. So United States doesn't mind getting the best of the best students and workers they need, regardless of where they are coming from. But once they are here, their growth depends on where they are born, and because the country cap is only on the last phase, the people are in this never-ending backlog, which is something wrong. And who is responsible for that, right, as well? So I think that I don't want to say that, but it's not like there is some people has some thought that this party is going to fix it. And right now the Democrats are kind of in power. At least they have Senate and they have like White House, right? So because it's not solved, a lot of people thinks that if the Republicans comes to the power, they gonna solve it. But they were in the power not long ago, right? So I'm not saying that either party is gonna solve it or either party it's not gonna solve it. But what I'm saying is that we need to think rationally as well, that okay, we need to work with both the parties, and both parties are responsible and both parties needs to fix this, right? So and let me see if I missed anything. All right, so some takeaways. What are some takeaways from this? All right, the takeaways is kind of, they talk about investment, more in investment, but it comes to boils down to life principles as well, right? They say that no risk, no reward. So what that means is that the rewards, if you see that lot of people who has risk, they get a lot of higher risk, higher rewards. So you see that how much risk they were taking in the video we saw, right? So we don't need to take that much amount of risk, but we need to take some amount of risk. Then if that costs us something, that then we should be willing to take that risk, right? So that's what is missing, that we have a lot of skills, but the risk factor, we need to exercise that more and increase that more, right? So we become more active. And also I always say that think from the position of power, not from the position of fear, right? That we are high skill immigrants, so we have skills which are required around the world, right? That if we take the risk, let's say the chances are less, but even if that leads to something, right, that if I go outside of the country and they doesn't let me in, then that doesn't matter, that India is growing, or I can go to any other country, right? So always think about from the position of power and not the fear. If you think from the position of fear, then that stops you from taking action. So yep, I guess that's pretty much it, right? So just to, this is the mind, skills, mind, courage, balls, and sympathy, heart, right? That we need the combination of this. Just because we are skilled, and that we expect people that because we are skilled, they should recognize that and fix everything. I wish it works like that, but there are people who are in this world, they don't have heart or sympathy. So if we don't have the courage, they're gonna take the advantage of it. So I hope this helps. I hope this answers some of the questions. Again, if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with the people. I think that this is one of the very important concept I try to exercise daily in my life, right? That if you don't exercise courage, if you don't take courageous action, then your comfort zone is gonna keep decreasing. But if you take like smaller action towards like increasing your courage, then your comfort zone keeps getting bigger. So that allows you that even whenever the Congress fixes our issue, great, but even while it's not fixed, it helps to maintain your freedom, that you don't give away your freedom. And this is why I think it's important, but it's also important if we want the solution to our problem. So I hope that more and more people start taking the action which is necessary. All right, thank you everyone for whoever joined live to support, but please share it with everyone who you think that this might help. And I'll see you guys in the next episode with a new topic. If you have topic suggestions, please leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.